Do you ever feel like your voice is stuck right here in your throat, or there's a frog in your throat whenever you're trying to sing? Well, there's quite a few reasons why this might be happening, so I want to look at those together with you right now and give you an exercise to practice releasing all of this here so that you can let your voice come out freely. Hey singers, it's Lara from VoxTape Studios, an online studio where we help singers make singing feel effortless so that they can fully express themselves and make singing feel good. Let's first look at some of the reasons why you might have this feeling of your voice being stuck in your throat. The first reason might be extrinsic muscle engagement. Basically, that's just a fancy term for saying your neck might be tight, your jaw might be tight, or your tongue might be tight. So for your neck, all you need to do is just take your hands and push down your neck muscles right here. Don't push on your larynx here in the middle, just on the side here, these muscles right there. As you're singing, la, you're just gently pushing, or not so gently, you're just pushing down these muscles right here so that they're not engaging. Then the jaw, you can take your fists, your knuckles right here, push that between your cheekbone here and your jawbone down here, drop your jaw, and then push in. La, like this, as you're singing. You lift me up, right? Or pushing in here as we're singing. It might hurt, that just means you really need it. Right now, I'm actually feeling it here too. I'm feeling a little bit tight here in my jaw. Totally normal. Just push in here, as you're singing to help release the masseter muscle. That's the muscle you were using to chew our food, to speak, to move the jaw, okay? And then with the tongue, a lot of times what happens is the tongue is retracting, meaning it's pulling back down into our mouth and into our throat. So what we want to do is just keep it nice and still in the mouth. To practice that, you can stick your tongue out of your mouth and gently bite on it. What we want to look for here is any movement, any twitching, any retraction, any pulling back into your mouth. We want to keep the tongue nice and still. You can do that on your song as well, like just drop the lyrics and just sing the song with your tongue sticking out and gently biting on it to help relax your tongue. Okay, so those are your extrinsic muscles, at least the most important ones. So play around with that. Another reason why you might feel like your voice is stuck in your throat is your larynx position. So your larynx is your voice box right here. It's where your vocal folds live. It's their little home right in here. And so what happens sometimes, especially when we start singing high, is the larynx just kind of gets stuck up here. It's important to understand that your larynx is movable. It moves up and it moves down. And when we sing high notes, it's higher. And when we sing low notes, it's lower in general. And it's totally fine. It is allowed to go up and it is allowed to go down. Now, what we don't want is for it to get stuck too high up in your throat. That gives you that little tight throat feeling when you sing. So what we need to do is drop the larynx a little bit, or at least gain control over the position of the larynx. So an easy way to drop your larynx is just inhale, breathe in through a yawn. Right, I'm really dropping the larynx when I inhale. You lift me up, right? You lift, and so forth. I'm just dropping the larynx as I'm breathing in so that I can start fresh and not like stuck up here, okay? That's your larynx position. Then the next thing I want to talk about is the compression of the vocal folds, meaning how tightly are your vocal folds closing together? Are they really pressing together, meaning there's a lot of compression like this? You lift me up. I'm exaggerating. You're probably not that bad. It's probably not that bad in your voice right now, but that's a lot of compression, right? Or is it super breathy? You lift me up. And there's just too much air coming through. Usually when we have that stuck in the throat feeling, there's too much compression happening. So I believe in this technique called overcorrection, meaning we're going from one extreme to another. We're going from overly compressed to overly breathy so that we can then meet in the middle where we have a very nice balanced tone and sound in your voice, and it comes out nice and freely and easily. And it doesn't feel stuck, right? So we want to go from overly compressed, we need to practice some breathy singing. Ah, you lift me up, hold me down, and so forth, to then beat in the middle, right? Where we get to, you lift me up. It's not too tight, okay? So practice breathy singing. And then last but not least, watch your volume, right? A lot of times when the sound, the voice gets stuck in the throat, it's because there's too much pressure and we're pushing for too much volume. Whether we're doing that on purpose or not, that is what's happening, okay? We're pushing for too much volume. We're giving too much effort. So the easiest thing you can do is just think 50% less. I'm just not going to work so hard. 50% of the volume, 50% of the effort is enough. So instead of like going full out like this, you lift me up, which is very much like it's stuck right there. It's difficult for me to control those notes and really get up on the note and not go flat. What I want to do instead is just think, calm down. A little less. 50% is enough. You lift me up. And now the notes come out much more easily and more freely. And of course, I have an exercise for you to practice all of these things together. With the extrinsic muscles, just feel. Hold down your muscles here. Does that help? Put your fists here in your jaw to relax that masseter muscle. With the tongue, we're not going to directly apply that in this exercise, but you can play around with that on your own time as well. But all the other things we talked about are in today's exercise, which is inspired by the song Lift Me Up, which is why I'm singing it all the time because I have it stuck in my head by Rihanna. So let's have a look at how the exercise goes. So this is called the puffer fish. You're inflating your cheeks, which helps you balance that pressure a little bit more, right? Like we're not going for a ton of volume here. And the sound, by the way, is coming out through your mouth, not through your nose. So you could close your nose and still feel that sound coming out of your mouth. Now that I know it sounds a little crazy because we have a really low larynx. So what you can do between the puffer fish and this show is inhale through a yawn, so that we can get that big, almost like opera sounding show. Really drop that larynx. So this ha-he-ho-ho is that breathy singing that we were talking about, right? Ha-he-ho-ho. We're using the H, ha-he-ho-ho, to help us get that breath flow going and not like ha-he-ho-ho. Nice and flowy and breathy. And then we're putting it all together with the lyrics. So this is where we're just putting everything together. You lift me up, so that we hopefully at this point here have a nice balanced tone. It might take a little bit more practice than just that first time through, okay? But this is how the exercise goes. So just keep in mind, relax here and here. Keep that breath flow going with some breathy singing to help you get unstuck. Keep the larynx low and watch your volume. By the way, did you know that not everything works for everyone depending on what kind of singer you are? Maybe you don't need to work on a lower larynx, but maybe you do. There's really only one way to find out. Take my vocal persona quiz. It helps you figure out what tendencies you have as a singer, and then it comes with a personalized training and warm-up track to help you solve all of these vocal issues that you're experiencing. I put the link to my vocal quiz in the description below this video, so check it out. It's totally free. All right, now let's do the exercise together. Are you ready? Now lower your larynx here. Nice. I know it's hard on those high notes, but you got it. Very good. Now keep the breath flowing here. Make it a little breathy. Yeah, good.
You lift me up, hold me down, keep me safe and sound.
Relax your tongue here when you're doing this puffer fish. Good. All right, well done. How did it feel? Were you able to relax, right? Keep that volume down, keep the breath flow going, drop your larynx, relax the jaw and the neck. I know it's so much to think about all at once in one exercise. It can be a little tricky, I know, but you got this, right? Like if the first couple tries, you're like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on dropping that larynx. That is totally fine. And once you're like, all right, now I've got that down, I know how to drop my larynx, then you can focus on the breath flow, for example. You can pick whichever you want to do first, right? If you just want to do one thing at a time, that's totally fine. But yeah, practice this exercise, continue working on it, and you should feel how it's getting easier and easier and easier to sing. And that voice is just flowing right out of you rather than being stuck in your throat. Of course, if you need extra help with this, I would love to help you in a one-on-one session. The link to book a private session with me over Zoom is in the description below this video. I'd love to help you see what's going on, come up with a really great plan for what you need to do to help you achieve your goals as quickly as possible. So hopefully I will see you on Zoom. But in the meantime, thank you so much for doing this exercise with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Give it a thumbs up and comment if you did learn something. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. Check out these other videos here if you want to learn some more and do some more exercises, and I will see you in the next video.